We'll give people another 2 minutes to come in. There's 3 people waiting. We'll wait 1 more minute for people to come in, and then we'll start. Can you hear me? I think Lucy is asking.
Okay, it looks like people can hear. Oh, sorry.
Can they hear? Can you hear? We're not allowed to unmute. Oh, did you do it? Okay. Great. That's great. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's just start because we already have a lot of people joining. So hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Ann Chen. I'm the admissions director for Epsilon Camp, and I'm also a parent of a former Epsilon camper. My own 17-year-old daughter joined this camp from 2015 to 2017. So I was in the same shoes as you guys are. And I'm very glad that I'll be able to help you navigating through this admissions process. And so I'm gonna, the plan today is I'm gonna spend the first 20 to half an hour, minute or so to talk about what Epsilon Camp is and to kind of go over the admissions process and what the life at the campus is like. And I will also briefly introduce our financial aid and the Mitra sponsorship. And at the end of the presentation, I will answer some of the questions you ask when you sign up for the information session. So please also ask your questions in the chat, and I'll try to get to them if time allows. And because I think that there are a lot of people signed up today, and so I'm not sure if I can get through all of them. And if not, you can always just email me or give me a call. I will put up my contact information at the end of the presentation. And one of the questions that I want to get it out of the way, and many parents ask, is how we will deal with COVID. Because we already actually went through one COVID, camp year. And so we have some, experience already. And so depending on the development of COVID and the changes in rules and regulation, we will modify how, the camp will run accordingly. And just like this year, we will continue to require the campers and family who will, attend will be to be fully vaccinated. And we will also reserve the right to request negative test result prior to attendance of the camp or at any point during the camp. And we will share and update all this COVID-related policy and details with you on our website over the next few months. So let's get into it. And first, let's talk about what Epsilon Camp is about. It's a 2-week residential camp for our exceptional young mathematician from age 7 to 12 and their family through a very challenging student program and informative parent workshop. And the classes will be taught by our university faculty. They cover material not taught, in the regular standard math curriculum at school. And all the counselors are undergrad math majors. And another really important component of Epsilon Camp is the parent program. So when the kids are at in their classes, the parents will get together to discuss different aspects of, nurturing the academic and social needs of our mathematically gifted children. Epsilon Camp is really not like a typical sleepaway camp. Instead of just sending the kids away, we actually require like the kid, at least one parent, guardian, or close family member to accompany the camper. So because of our campers are really young, they're quite young. So, and then our programs are very academically challenged. So, they really will need your support throughout the camp. And that's the purpose of having the whole family join, basically. And then let's see. So for the very first time, we're gonna held the camp at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, from July 9th to July 23rd. And it's Miami University in Ohio, in Oxford, Ohio, not Miami, Florida. So all families will stay on campus at the university. And this year we will have 2 different options, the housing option to choose from. You can either share the apartment with another family, or you can just have opt out, and have a private apartment for a little bit higher cost. And each air-conditioned apartment will have 4 private rooms and 2 shared bathroom areas. And each private room within an apartment is furnished with full-size bed. And also it has full kitchen with full-size refrigerator, stove and oven, microwave and dishwasher. So it's a full kitchen basically. And then a common living room area with a couch and diner set. And in terms of meal plan, we ask all the participants to purchase the meal plans, and the cafeteria will accommodate different type of dietary or restrictions. So all the food will be clearly labeled as vegetarian, vegan, or if you have any allergy, all the allergy free. Basically, it will be clearly labeled. And then I'm sure you're all really anxious to know about the admission criteria. So let's get into it. I want to talk about what we're looking for and why we have this admissions process. One of the most important things we are looking for and expecting is that the child, who attend Epsilon Camp have exceptional math ability. And that's why we have to institute this admissions process to make sure that the child who's, going to enjoy a camp like this and the camp would be a good fit. We're not just looking for math ability, though. We are also looking for kids who are really excited to learn math. Because it's really possible for a child to really like good at math, but not excited to spend 2 weeks doing math. So what we're looking for during the admissions process is to make sure that the child is self-motivated. And then because you'll see in a little bit that, we really pack a lot of stuff in, a lot of math in a day. And another quality that we're looking for is maturity and stamina for the child, especially for our 9 to 12-year-old group. Their classes will be taught by college professor in lecture style with lots of intense discussions during the class. So the ability to sit and listen to a lecture, to notes, and are the skills what we're looking for, actually. And then all the children who, that's for the older kids, and for the younger ones, of course, it's not, they don't need to take notes, or or it's not a lecture style. But all the children who also need to have adequate motor skills to do all the mathematical activities. And then finally, we're looking for children who can work in a group and who are good participants in the class and can learn from each other. So let's see, next. In terms of, oh, and somebody asked how long is a lecture. I'll get to that when you see, when we get to like the day-to-day schedule, and you'll see how that works. In terms of the application process, there are a few components. We have like 2 kinds of tests. One is readiness assessment, which tests on your child's core mathematical components. The competency. And then for the 9 to 10-year-olds who are applying to get into the Euclid group, we do expect that they have a solid working knowledge of algebra. Once you create an application account, you'll be able to download a copy of the exams. I suggest that when you get those exams, you let them take a stab at it and see where your child is at. We do not expect the child to get perfect score, but we do expect that they are very familiar with a lot of these concepts and can solve a lot of these problems. They can take as much time as they need or want, but they, to complete these tests, but they do need to do it on their own without the parents or the teacher's help. And the second type of test is the exploration problems, and they're much more open-ended. There's no one right answer, and the most important part is to show your child's mathematical thinking and creativity. So that your child know that they shouldn't worry about right or wrong answer, and they should focus on showing our admission team their thought process. We want to see how they think about math, basically. The third item we're asking for is an IQ or achievement test report. What we're looking for from this report is to learn about their mathematical abilities. And then we're also asking for a math reference letter from a math teacher from school or math circle or other math related programs that they're in. Someone who really know math and know your child's math ability should write this letter. And then there's a brief parent guardian questionnaire where you can tell us more about your child, their personality, and their math journey. We ask for a non-academic reference that's the last piece. This is really to help us understand how your child is like in a group setting, and to kind of know what their personality is like. So it will really help us to get to know the whole child, basically. And there are a few additional requirements we need to verify when you register. So we need the proof of health insurance, childhood immunization, and COVID-19 vaccination. And it's for both for the for all the participants, both the campers and the family members who are attending. In terms of the deadline, the first round of application are due on January 10th, and we should be able to let you know the result by the end of January. And after that, it's just, we'll take the application on a rolling basis. So if you have any questions, you can just contact me, send me emails, and then I will also post the link on, how to start to apply. The chat. So, okay, that's quickly go through the curriculum of Epsilon Camp. So for Pythagoras group, the youngest groups, the 7 to 8-year-old campers, a few sample topics are number theory, computational mathematics, geometry, permutations and combinations. We do rotate these classes from year to year. So for child who attend Pythagoras group when they're 7 and 8, they will not repeat the same curriculum. And for this group of campers, like I said earlier, it's more hands-on and manipulative and very little of lecture style of learning. And so so they will have, more time and room to move around, and they have more breaks, and, it's really just like we take that, into consideration a lot. And then the next group I want to talk about is Euclid group. This is our year 1 of curriculum for 9 to 10-year-old campers. And just to be clear, regardless of their age, if the camper have not attended Epsilon Camp before, the students will start with Euclid group. The core courses of Euclid are method of proof and number theory. All the Euclid camper will take these 2 courses for 2 weeks. And other courses we may offer are like geometry or voting theory, and what will be offered will really depends on the faculty, what their specialties are. So it will vary by year. Year 2 is called Gauss. This is for campers aged 10 to 11, and everyone in Gauss will already complete Euclid. So they'll build upon their, what they learn from Euclid year, and then they'll continue. And so the sample topics covered in Gauss are sets and functions, visual group theory, projective theory, geometry. And again, some of these are faculty dependent, but all Gauss campers will take sets and function as the core course. And Conway is the final year of Epsilon Camp. This is the year they graduate from Epsilon Camp. And Conway covers a lot of advanced topics like advanced set theory, fractals, topology, group theory, and hyperbolic geometry. So that was the curriculum that, we will cover over the years. And then, so to give you an idea of how a typical day at the camp is organized, this is a daily schedule that we have from this year, Epsilon Camp 2022. So our morning actually starts at around 7 with breakfast. So you and your family will go to the dining hall and eat breakfast. You can start as early as you like. And then the class starts at 8:30. As you'll see, the class will last the whole morning, and there will be 2 classes in the morning. So someone asked about how long the lecture will be. So you'll see it's about an hour or so. And then there'll be about an hour and 20 minutes, 10, 20 minutes. And then there will be a break at 9:45 for half an hour. And during the half an hour, the counselor will usually organize some sort of game or activities for them to kind of run around and let out some of their themes. And then they'll come back to do another class. And then at 11:40, they're let out for lunch. And parents will sign the campers out at that point. So from 11:40 to 2:25, that's when you have a long break. You can have lunch, you can have, they can take, spend time with their family, or some kids may want to play together, or some kids actually want to spend time working on the problems they got, in the morning. And some camper actually use this time to practice their music instrument as well. So that's a kind of free time. And some kids actually need that time as a downtime to take a nap or just rest. And then at 2:25, we sign them back in with the counselor to the afternoon classes. So they have another block of time for classes. And for the older kids, Euclid Gauss and Conway campers, they will have one class, a little break, and then office hours. So you see that whole blue block, the second half, that's the office hour. And you'll notice that we don't specify breaks for the younger groups, and it's because of their young age. So the professor and counselor will usually just give them frequent breaks as they see needed, basically. And I want to talk a little bit about our office hour. So for our older group, this is a time where faculty can get together with the kids, and when the kids have questions about their homework, they can basically work with the faculty and counselor. So their homework assigned to them every day, and most of them usually can be completed during the office hours. The Pythagoras group kids don't have any homework. And then it's dinner time. So they usually eat dinner with their classmates and the counselors. So the parents don't need to sign them out at that point. But then after dinner, the parents need to take them to math station. And what math station is basically free play with math. The kids can get to pick which math station they want to go to every night. And the examples are like origami room, where they can make origami, or Zoom tool room, where they can build different mathematical structure, game room, where they can play different mathematical game, or puzzle room. And there's usually a choir room where kids can choose to do their own activity. And this year, we also actually have some guest lecture to come, or, there's some little workshop put together as well. So math station is very popular. It's required for older kids, but not required for the Pythagoras group kids either. And then so as you can see, we really pack a lot of math in a day. And then from 7:40 on, the counselors are done for the day, and the parents are in charge of the activity from that point on. So a lot of time we have a social committee who will put together different activities for the kids. We'll talk about that later in a little bit. So let's talk about parent program. It's I'm sure you'll agree that even though our kids may be in a gifted program or in gifted school, their math trajectory tend to be very different from their peers. And many of them have a synchronized development. So it's sometimes a pretty isolating experience for the kids and the parents. And it's really difficult to find a community or a tribe where you can safely talk about, our kids' need and challenge we face raising them. So, our parent program is really designed to create this kind of community and to support our parents in nurturing, you know, not only our kids' mathematical needs, but also their social and emotional needs. So I personally actually gained so much from this parent program, and a lot of parents I met, there are quite a few of them I still keep in touch over the year, and got a lot of support from them. So I am really grateful for this parent program. And first of all, I want to say that, through the program, the parents will have the opportunity to meet the faculty and hear what the campers will learn over the course of the 2 weeks. So that's what we'll do. That's why who you'll meet during this program. And then we will also have a variety of speakers. We'll invite them to either present in person or remotely. And they'll cover a lot of different topics that's relevant to our kids. So in the past year, we have a speaker talk about life after Epsilon camp and share other summer camp opportunity. Or we have Richard Resick, the founder of our problem solving camp this year too, and Professor Po-Shen Lo also came to be a speaker to kind of talk to the parent. And then 1 year we have college counselor who spoke about the importance of extracurriculum activity. I personally found all this workshop incredibly helpful and have benefited a lot from them. And then we also have some roundtable discussion where it's just we gather all the parents together, and parents will share what they know, like their math education resources or other academic planning strategy they found helpful, or school advocacy experiences that they can share. And then, of course, for those parents that need to work, we will, they're more than welcome to actually bring their work to work remotely during these parent sessions. And the guest programs will also be recorded, and so for those and the notes will be available. So for those parents who need to work and cannot attend, they can still have access to these to know the content of this parent program, basically. And then a lot of parents also want to know about what do I do with the younger siblings if I bring them along. And so for the family who are planning to bring the younger ones to the camp, they're more than welcome at the parent program. You can bring them along. That's one option. And then, but some parents do want to put the siblings to other summer programs or summer camps in the area. We will provide, I'll post a couple links. There's some summer camp options in Oxford, Ohio. And so as far as we know for now, we know that there are a few day camp options on campus for kids 7 and above. And then there are also a few options through the Oxford City park and recreations for the younger ones. I'll put the links in the chat for you to look into. And also we will also, provide all this information later on when, during the registration. And some other parents, what they do is they look for sitters. So if they need to work or if they want to attend a parent program without their children, they would hire a sitter, and that's another option that I've seen people do. Let's see. So what is the life at camp like outside of regular curriculum? After the math station in the evening, like I said, there are usually a parent organized activities. The social committee will usually plan different type of activity like board game night or ice cream social, and like Magic the Gathering tournament. They have that in the past, and like soccer or ultimate frisbee. So there are plenty of opportunity for the kids to get together and play and make friends. And also at Miami University, facility, specifically they have a great recreational center, and we know that the family can purchase daily or weekly membership, so they can go use their gym, and there's several swimming pool, and I think they even have a rock climbing wall. So that's something that that we can do outside of the class. Let's see. So let's talk about the overall schedule a little bit to kind of give you a whole idea of how the 2 weeks will go. So most people will arrive on Sunday, July 9th, and that's the day you come in and you check in and kind of get situated in the dorm. And then the classes will start on Monday. And then so Monday through Friday, there'll be classes and parent program. And then Saturday and Sunday are completely free. There are no classes or activities scheduled. But the camp director usually will organize field trips, a couple of field trips on those days. So for additional fees, you can sign up for the activity. And transportation usually are included. We have not, we're still in the process of figuring out what activities that we will put together, but there's some example are like Kings Island Amusement Park or Cincinnati Museum Center, that kind of activities, and it's really a lot of fun for the kids and for the family members as well. Another option is, of course, to explore Oxford on your own. Some examples are Black Cover Bridge, Miami University has art museum, and then there's the ice center. And then the following week, there are usually classes. There's actually classes from Monday through Saturday. So there are going to be 6 days of class. And then on Saturday, there's Saturday evening, there's the graduation ceremony, and then also a closing ceremony. And then so final day, final Sunday, that's the day that everybody leave, usually, the first thing in the morning. And so basically, there's not going to be any scheduled activity on Sunday. So overall, there'll be 11 days of instruction, 5 days the first week, 6 days the second week. And that, I hope that kind of gives you an idea of an overall schedule. Before I get to Q&A, I want to cover our financial aid and Mitra sponsorship. So this year, we will offer up to 10 need basis full and partial financial aid awards. And the award will be up to full cost of attendance, depending on the AGI. So those that at or below 50,000 adjusted gross income are awarded full cost of our summer program for the student and one parent or guardian. And that includes tuition, accommodation, meals for the camper and the one parent. And there's no award for gross income at and above 150,000. The award will reduce gradually from 50,000 to 150,000 according to our financial aid formula. We're very excited so that's our financial aid. And then the other option we have is Mitra sponsorship. Mr. Mitra will once again provide a sponsorship this year, and he believes really strongly that camps like Epsilon can make a really meaningful difference in the lives of underprivileged and underserved children. So he also recognized the underrepresentation of females among high-achieving math students, and so he hoped that the experience from Epsilon camp will inspire a profoundly gifted girl to develop lifelong love of mathematics, and will go on to pursue math or some application of it as a career. And so thanks to the generosity of the Mitra family, the sponsorship will provide full tuition, room and board, and also travel costs for the camper and one parent. And the preference will be given to female applicant, but the sponsorship is open to all the eligible admitted campers with significant financial needs. And to qualify for financial aid, you really only need to do 4 things. So the first thing is on the inquiry form, the application inquiry form, you just need to check the box indicating I would like to be considered for financial aid, and then fill in your estimated 2022 AGI. And then you complete all the application material as soon as you can. And by March 15th of next year, email me, your estimated 2022. I need to change my slide. The 2022 AGI, and then by April 20th of 2023, you need to just submit a copy of the page from your official 2022 IRS tax return to show your AGI. That's it. Other than that, there's no further action required. And the financial aid is awarded first come, first serve basis. And as of now, it's only available to US citizens or permanent residents. So let's see. So that's it. That's, like all the, basically what I want to cover. It's a lot. And thank you for your patience to listen through all that. But I think that really will give you a really, clear overall picture of how the camp is run and what is it about and what we're asking for. So I want to first, for the Q&A, I want to first answer some of the questions that people ask when they sign up for this information session. So one person asked, is my 11-year-old son eligible for this camp? So if this is the first time you're applying for Epsilon camp, then no, your son is not eligible to apply because we only accept 9 and 10-year-old applicants who are first year Euclid level. And so I think someone else also asked about 12-year-old. And so that's, no, we only accept for the first year, that's 9 and 10-year-old. And someone also asked, what kind of math kids is this camp best suitable? I.e. mathletes, advanced math kids who only think about math, etc. So that's a good question. There are many types of mathy kids at Epsilon Camp. I would say all of the above and more. So one thing, it's suited for all these mathy kids. Basically, all our camper, one thing they have in common is that they all enjoy math and they really want to spend 2 weeks doing math only. So that's kind of like the common thread. And then another person asked, for share apartment, so with one parent and one camper, how would the pairing with another family be decided? Is it by similar age or same gender? So that's a really good question. Ideally, you will find a family to share with on your own. We will facilitate this by encouraging you to talk to other family on Slack. What happens is we will set up Slack account for everybody so they can kind of talk to each other and figure out, maybe you want to find someone who lives close to you or like same gender, similar age, whatever it is. So ideally you can do that on your own. But if you can't find anybody, you can also indicate your preference during the registration process, and we'll do our best to match you up with someone. Let's see. And someone asked, I would like to learn more about the workload and stress level of the campers. So I would say that would be a very intense and challenging 2 weeks for these campers, but I don't think it will be stressful. They actually will likely have too much fun. In terms of workload, for the older kids who are assigned daily work, they'll be assigned daily homework, and most of them can complete their homework during the 1 hour office hour session. And if not, then they need to talk to the camper or the professor to kind of figure out what's going on. And we can always provide with extra support and figure out, how to help them kind of navigate, through that. And someone asked, is there any special advantage, either financially or admissions-wise, for girls? So on admissions front, I can say that there's no special advantage for girls. They still need to meet all the criteria that we ask for all the applicants. And there's really no special advantage for financial aid application either. They are all awarded on the first come, first serve basis, except for Mitra sponsorship, of course. That one do give preference to a female camper. And also one person asked, are there any one-on-one opportunity? Definitely. One of the reasons we have office hour is for kids to work with the faculty directly. And also the counselors are all math majors, so they're also there to help with the math. And then someone asked, practice music instrument in the dorm room during daytime, is this allowed? So like I say earlier, during that long break, a lot of people, that's when they practice their instrument. And then if you need to access to a piano, that's something that we can arrange with the university. So usually they will help you to get access to a piano. Let's see. So that are the questions that I got. Yeah. And then let's see. Let me see how much time. Maybe we'll go over a few questions. Let's see. Some of the questions people ask, see if I can answer some of them right now. Okay, so how soon could we know if our child is accepted after completed registration, or there are other camper we're considering? Okay, so yeah, like I say, if you turn in everything by January 10th, then you should find out by the end of January. And someone asked, can both parents join the child? Yes, they can, definitely. Both parents can join. Sometimes the whole family comes. And I think I already answered how long is the lecture. Someone asked, under 10 years of age, how are they taught with lectures? I think that the professor will just introduce the concept and then, give them a lot of examples, and then just, they have a lot of discussions going on. I think that's usually how the style is for the 9 and 10-year-old and above. And for the younger one, it's a lot more manipulative questions. And someone asked, where can we find exploration problems? Same thing. When you sign up for, when you open up the account, the application account, you can get onto your portal where you'll find where, the qualifying test and also the exploration problems, where you can download both of those tests. Someone asked a good question. How current do the IQ and achievement test report have to be? They don't need to be super current at all. As long as it can be something that you have done quite a few years ago. You don't really need to do a new test just for this application purpose. You just submit it to me, and then, if it's 5 years old, it's fine too. Yes, so another person also asked about IQ test. Yes, 3 years old of IQ test is perfectly fine. And someone asked, who should write a non-academic reference letter? That's a very good question. It can be somebody from the regular school classroom, or a sports team, church, wherever, choir, whoever knows how your child behave in a group setting would all be good, basically. And someone asked, are there any exceptions for COVID vaccinations? Yes, if you do have any medical reason, we do have, you can sign a waiver, and then there are some exceptions. And if you have question on that, you can also reach out to me or to the camp director, who usually will help you with that question. And some of my 9-year-old already missed Pythagoras group level. Will he feel like he's behind if he entered Euclid? Definitely not. They're very different programs, basically. And so from Euclid on, it's a lot more formal. I would say 7 and 8-year-old Pythagoras group is more free form. It's a lot more manipulative. It's not the TIPS type of learning. So it's very different from the 9 and above. So definitely not. They won't feel like they're missing anything. And do you expect parents to tutor children to cover all the material missed? I'm not quite sure what you meant by that. Maybe you can ask me that question later. Will the vaccine requirement change over time? Currently, is very similar. There's no requirement for any school require COVID vaccine to attend. Well, so basically we are requiring like everybody to be fully vaccinated, and if you have some other needs, you can also just email me later. We can work through that. Is the listed age how old they are at the time of? Yes, so it's the listed age of all the different levels are how old they are at the time the camp start. You're right. So a child age 12 who is new to Epsilon camp will still join Euclid. Actually, for a child who's 12 already, they are not eligible to apply, unfortunately. And there are actually other, really amazing math camp that they can join. For example, Math Path. That's another really great camp for kids age 11 to 14. And that's the one that I would recommend for if your child is already 12. Someone asked, so you can only do 1 year of Euclid, Gauss, and Conway. That's right. So you only need to do 1 year of each. And so people are asking, what are alchemists, all those different names. So basically, sometimes in one level, we have 2 or 3 classes. So we're just assigning those name for the different classes, but they're actually the same level. Let's see, did I miss anything? I think, let me go back. Okay. What amenities are provided for remote work? So we will have, there'll definitely be Wi-Fi for people to use, so a strong one. So they will be able to access to their Zoom, calls for sure. Oh, okay. And then let's see, what's the next one? Do you know any math camp for kids older than 13 of age? Yes. So Math Path, Awesome Math. And I think that, Campersan is another one that's really good. Yes. So Math Path is also founded by Dr. Thomas. And some people are asking, can the sibling of campers attend the evening math station too? Unfortunately, it's only for the campers. So yeah, so we do not invite the siblings to join. And how many kids typically attend the camp each year? It varies by year. Usually we have around 70 to 85, and we cap at 85, I think. Someone was asking about what's the total price, tuition plus living cost. So tuition is about 20, I think, no, it's not about it. The tuition is 2,900. And the living cost, I think it's, it's kind of, I'll find out for you. Can you actually get onto it? I have my little assistant right next to me. So, okay. Is it possible to stay off campus if having a family or a friend nearby? You can let me know later. We'll work on that later. Oh, so okay, so the cost, so the housing cost, the share apartment is $92.50 per night, and so the private would be $185, and then the meal is for the 5-year and younger, it's free, but then for the older one, it's $35 per day. And so basically, for the share housing, the total including tuition, registration fee, housing, camper meal, and parents meal, it will be around 5,200, and the private housing will be 6,500. So we'll post a link on the chat for you to see. Have these professors typically taught this age group before? Yes, most of them are have taught this group kids before. And then someone asked, how can we get the application material? So all you need to do is, I'll post the link again, how to apply link. If you click on that and you fill out the interest form, and once you fill that out, I will send you the link for you to basically start the account. And then once you start your account, you can see in your portal, you'll see all the requirements, basically. And someone asked, how many families in a shared accommodation? So they're 4-bedroom. And so that means, if it's only one parent with one camper, then that's two families can share one apartment, basically. Someone asked, so if I understood correctly, you must enter by age 10 into Euclid, or you are eligible. That's correct. So we only accept 9 and 10-year-old into the Euclid group. And the reason being that by the time, because we only want kids, basically the camp serve kids between 7 to 12. And so by 12, if you don't enter at 10, it will be too old to do the Conway group, basically. And then you'll miss out on the whole program. And that's the rationale that we only accept 9 and 10-year-old into the first year. If we get the on-campus apartment only for our family, can I invite more family member to the apartment? I guess it depends on how many people. It's something that you can work with our camp director later. Parking arrangement would have to be made separately from housing. Yes, and I think that the parking, I'm not quite sure what the parking rate is. It's quite low, but either free or pretty low. So something that you'll find out during the registration process as well. And someone was asking about how to create an account. So hopefully you'll figure it out by now. And someone say, my child loves math, but doesn't want to go to school in summer. What can I say to assuage his concerns that Epsilon camp will be fun and interesting? I think the best way to do it is really just have them work on the problems, really. At least that's my own experience. My daughter, I wasn't sure whether she would want to spend 2 weeks doing math And so when I gave her the problems and she start working on them and go, whoa, and keep on working on them. And that's when I say, oh, okay, maybe this is something that, that they will like. And for them, they see it. They're like, oh, this is cool. I want to do it. And then maybe you can share with them what the day is like, and just kind of give them a lot of information for them to see whether that's something they want to do. And if they're not ready, it's okay. Like, I wouldn't push for it because it is really intense, to be honest. And then so if they come and they're not ready for that kind of intensity, it can backfire, basically. You might, they might not like math too much afterwards. So that's not what you want. What is the difference between math exploration problem and personal statement? Oh, so math exploration problem, that's actually another test. That's kind of like the qualifying test. And personal statement, it's more, we want to know, it's like a little few paragraph for them to show us what kind of math they're working on, what get them excited math-wise. We want them to write a little bit, basically, to show us. And another person asked, do you expect that kids would love to do the readiness assessment exploration problem? Yes. If they cry, that's not a good sign when they work on those problems. It's a good way for you to gauge whether this is going to be a good camp. It will be a good experience for them as well. So that's why I think those two sets of problem are the first thing you need to do when you start the whole process. Just have them do those two problem sets. And that way you kind of can see whether, it's going to be a good fit or not. Someone asked, can their classroom teacher write the academic math recommendation, even though they don't have? No, that's fine. As long as they know math and then, and then they know their math ability, that's actually not a problem. How do we get our 7-year-old to write a personal statement? What should be included? You can actually have them verbally say it and you type it out. That's not a problem. So they can dictate it. You don't have to make them write it if they don't refuse to use their head. That's fine. That's definitely not an issue at all. So that's what you can do. And yeah, I think I actually answered all the questions. But, you guys, if you have any more questions, feel free to just reach out to me. We can always set up a call, or, or I can just, we can just communicate through emails. That's not a problem. So I hope the session is informative and answer most of your questions, and please feel free to reach out. And that's it. And I hope I see your applications and see you at the camp. Thank you so much.